Want to know a secret? You're about to meet your true counterpart. I know. It's been a long journey to get here. And I'm not talking about the last person that you thought was the one that turned out to be the zero. And I'm definitely not talking about the person that you left or that left you 10 miles on the road back that you know for certain is not your vibrational match in any way, shape, or form. This is the right person. This is the right time. It comes together beautifully. It's right. It's the person, it's the relationship, it's the circumstances where you are going to raise your hands to heaven and say thank you. You are going to look in the mirror and you are going to hold yourself close and you are going to say thank you. This is a connection that is the product of your decision to love yourself, to prioritize your healing, your wellness, your prosperity, and your light. All the things that you've cleared out that were distractions from that, all the things that you've cleared out that brought out a lower version of yourself or held you back in a timeline that didn't feel good, that didn't feel aligned, that didn't result in your most abundant self. All of those choices to keep pushing past all of that nonsense and keep focused on the hope that there was something better for you in all ways, shape, and form. All of that is coming full circle. What you have been seeking is now seeking you, and you are right on the brink of encountering the person, the one for you, the one person out of the billions of people on this planet that is the right fit for you. And the key thing, you're the right fit for them. So it works. Oh, this is so exciting. I am so excited for you. Yeah, we've got the Garden of the Heart. This is something where this flourishes the first time around. This is a circumstance where you're not going to have to be pulling on a door that you should be pushing. This is somebody that is going to invite you into their life, and you're going to be super excited to bring this person in closer to your world. Seeds of intention that were planted long ago that had resulted in certain detours in your life, certain things that had to be taken away, certain things that you ran towards that it turned out were never going to make you happy, that were only lessons. All of that was tilling up the soil within your heart space in order for, kind of the big bounty to spring forth, for the big opportunity to come out, for you to be able to perceive and receive on a deep level the person that resonates, not just with what you have going on in the here and now, not just somebody that is kind of like relevant in this moment, not somebody that you're calling into your reality or that you're chasing after because you're lonely and you're seeking to fill a hole or a void inside of yourself, but something that is the byproduct of your choice to choose yourself, even when that has meant choosing loneliness, choosing to be single, choosing to be celibate, choosing to say no to things that you know don't feel right, are not a vibrational alignment, are not a match, don't bring out the best in you. Your choice to keep choosing yourself over and over again has created space for that real seed of potential to grow almost like a money tree, but there's love on that money tree. So this is like a very abundant love. This is a love that will make you feel like the richest person in the world. This is somebody that's not going to make you struggle, to kind of like compromise within a connection. This is someone that is going to show you you are not hard to love. You are the easiest person to love. This is somebody that is going to get your sense of humor. This is somebody that is going to anticipate your needs, emotionally speaking. This is somebody that is going to be standing beside you in good times and bad. This is somebody that is going to motivate you when you feel low. This is somebody that is going to celebrate you when you feel high. This is the type of person that brings a lot to the table. It's everything you need, it's everything that you want, and you are that for them. This is like power couple energy. Again, this is the energy that's coming through of like a counterpart, a true counterpart. Not something that is like the fictionalized, the fairy tale version, something that is like a manifestation of toxicity. This is something that is the complete opposite of all the experiences that you've had up to this point in time with people and circumstances that might have actually just been instances of limerence, might have just been instances of kind of showing you the blind spots within yourself where you were reaching for things based out of ego rather than listening to the needs of your soul. Like you've cleared all of that away. You've gone through those karmic cycles. You've burned through that karma. You closed out those soul contracts. You have stepped into a new era. And it is not just a new you in the here and now, but there's like a right match for you. This is somebody that will help you to kind of understand what all of this process of preparation was for. This is not a fly-by-night connection. This is the energy of the one, the long-term partner, the future spouse, the kingdom spouse, the soulmate energy. This is something that's going to help you believe in those labels again. For a lot of you, you needed to become totally like disgusted and jaded with the idea of like a twin flame journey, with soulmates, with counterparts, maybe even the idea of like getting married or finding a spouse. You needed to kind of get to the place where you're like, I'm just done with it. It's not going to align for me. And so I'm choosing to return home to myself. And that has been exactly what's been necessary to put you in that right vibrational place for this moment, here and now. You're going to love that idea of soulmates. You're going to love that idea of the gooey romance. You're going to love that idea of kind of like, yeah, I want to ride that high vibrational plane experience in the here and now. Not because it's a fantasy I reach for, but it's my lived reality. Whether we're living big or we're living simple, this is true love. This is real love. This is something that is lasting, something that, once it is kind of like experienced and made official, this is something that is set in stone, but not in a way that's kind of an energy of woundedness or toxicity that's kind of like, wow, that was a really bad experience and I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to kind of just limp beyond it. No, this is an experience that's kind of like, wow, this helped to kind of redeem my idea of what was out there for me in terms of those energies of love and romance, in terms of all of the work that you've done to become that perfect pairing within yourself is now about to be matched in the form of somebody else that gives what it is they are hoping to receive, that, takes the time to learn you, to figure out what it is that you need emotionally and in life in order to feel safe, secure, taken care of, appreciated, all of those beautiful things. And they're actually going to allow you in, give you the opportunity to see the vulnerable side of them as well, so that together this is, again, like a perfect pairing, a perfect partnership. Yeah, we have kick up your heels. This is the energy of celebration. This is the energy of somebody that wants to show you off. This is not going to be a connection where it's like a sneaky link. You're in a situationship, it's hidden, there's third parties, there's a bunch of garbage, there's a bunch of drama. You've elevated beyond that season. You've graduated from those experiences. You've chosen better for yourself. And this is somebody that's coming in that is going to be like, I'm so glad that I didn't settle. I'm so glad that I held my standards high, or I raised my standards. I'm so glad that I, closed out those experiences with people that made me feel like trash, that made me feel like an option, that made me feel like I was asking for too much, or that I was asking for too little, that made me feel that I was anything less than absolutely worthy and deserving of a high vibrational, consistent, healthy experience in love with another person. Like, you're about to get that. You're about to get the complete opposite of every kind of like worst thing that you've had. All of that in a certain way is about to be erased, energetically. Yeah, the memories will be there. The scars from those experiences will be there. That's part of your timeline. That's part of your history. It's part of what made you who you are today, for better or worse. But this is an experience that comes in that kind of like erases the repercussions of those things, and starts starts to help you to kind of like build in a better direction, starts to help you, see like despite all of those things, all those mistakes in the past, all those people that I let in that I shouldn't, all those situations I stayed in for longer than was necessary or that was healthy, all of those circumstances where I got taken for a ride by somebody because I was trusting and apparently I needed to sort of learn discernment. All of that is kind of, it's a closed experience now for you. And this energy of like a true counterpart, this person that is a very like strong energy coming towards you, this is somebody that is going to, in a way, kind of match that sort of jaded energy as far as love is concerned. And they're really going to be able not just to kind of lift you up into a higher level love, but match your sort of like needs, requirements, desires for something more, than kind of like what has been handed out already up to this point in time. This is going to be somebody that's so grateful to be with you. They are so lucky to love you and to be loved by you that, it brings that energy of kind of like the fairy tale in real life. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be your story, but it's something that's going to make you very much feel like appreciated, very seen, very loved as you are in this moment. And as you continue to, evolve and grow and develop into, yourself moving forward through time. Yeah, we have craft your focus. So this is somebody that's like, when they have their eye on you, when they set their sights on you, it's like nothing else will do. This is somebody that is going to take the time to learn you, take the time to like see, what do you need? What am I doing? What could I be doing better? This is somebody that may already have kind of their sights on you, because this energy is very, it's like very imposing. So it feels like this is something where you're about to meet this person. This may be somebody that you've recently met, you've recently connected with, and it's almost like Cupid's arrow has struck or it's about to strike, and all that magic is going to begin. For a lot of you, this is somebody that like, they come to that realization within first. You're not going to have to chase this person. You're not going to be like unsure where you stand with them. They're going to see you as a gift. They're going to see you as, everything that they've been looking for in another person and never thought that they would find. Here you are in the flesh, and they're not going to hesitate. This is somebody where, they want to swoop in. They want to claim you. They don't want to just kind of like waste time or play mind games. This is somebody that's like very determined to take steps forward with you. Somebody that's going to be very assertive. Somebody that's going to be very clear about their intentions, which it feels like if any of you have like trust issues, or, you're even kind of feeling uncertain about that idea of counterparts, twin flames, soulmates, just everything sort of involved with the culture of that, or kind of the mythology of that to a certain extent. This is something that helps to kind of like de-escalate some of those triggered feelings within. And it's kind of like, okay, even if we're not defining ourselves as that out loud, all of those kind of like best things that are described about those titles, about those terms, about those concepts, it's embodied within the reality of this person who is coming forth to you in a very realistic way, something that you can work with, something that you can rely upon, something that helps you. It feels like to get what might have just been concepts or might have felt very kind of whimsical. There's something about your experience with this person and, kind of building in a longer term sense. It's going to help you see the essence of what was kind of touched upon or described or alluded to in things that you've kind of like learned about those concepts. You've seen in different people kind of like talking about the twin flame journey, talking about the concept of soulmates. Anything you kind of built in your mind is like an imagining of what that would be. You're about to experience like how that translates in a real human way, how that translates in a realistic manner, something that is a love which is better than all the others. You can even describe this, if it makes you feel more comfortable, as like the love of a lifetime, the love of your life. You are about to meet this person, and it's not just going to be, we had this temporary experience and then I'm kind of like stuck in the past forever. This is somebody that's able to move with you through the seasons of life, through the ups and downs. Yeah, we have seek the ally. This is like lovers and best friends. This is something that is your perfect pairing. Whether this is, you're like twinsies, samey same, everything is kind of like aligned in that sense, because that's what the two of you need as compared to what you've known in the past, or whether this is something that is like an opposites attract situation, because that's what you've been needing, is something that is, different than just sort of staring at your own reflection in the form of another person. It'll be different for everybody's situation, but this is like the person that you need is coming towards you, and for this person, you are the person that they need. There's about to be a level that's unlocked for you of a different type of experience, as far as like things that are possible in loving partnerships, either that you thought were out of reach, that were unrealistic because you'd never experienced them before, or things that were even like you didn't know such things were possible, so you didn't know to ask for them. It's the idea of like, you asked for something very simple. You asked for a bouquet of flowers and the universe is giving you a lush garden. It's that type of experience where a lot of you are just going to be, you really are going to be like thanking your spirit guides, thanking your ancestors, thanking, source, thanking God. Like, okay, I get it now, what all of this period of preparation was for. Because if I had just settled in a life that wasn't as exciting, if I had stayed in that stale, toxic, low vibrational partnership, if I just shut myself off to the idea of love altogether, I never would have met this person. And whether they love in a very kind of loud way, or whether this is somebody that loves in a very quiet way, you're going to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that this is real love. Yeah, and we have fly with the dreamers. So this is like dreams coming true. This is the energy of like a wise love. It is wise to invest with this person. They see you as a wise investment in a practical way, and also as far as emotions are concerned. There's a sense that this is a connection that is going to heal you and this other person, because it brings forth, it summons something as far as like a wounded healer energy within you and a wounded healer energy within them, like steps that you've each needed to take in your own personal journeys prior to encountering one another, in order to, sort of like heal certain wounds, redefine self-talk, kind of undo the damage of like previous partners that you've had, previous experiences in life that you've had, previous experiences in love that you've had, a previous relationship with yourself that you've had. And there's a sense of like you each became that healer for yourself. You healed your own wounds. You've been licking your own wounds as best as you can. And now there's the ability to kind of have that medicine matched in the form of another person. There's, you've done as much as you could for yourself. They did as much as they could for themselves. And now, instead of like two people trying to pour from broken cups, it's like you've repaired those cups within yourselves. You've filled in those cracks with gold. And so now there's the sense of two people who, have reassembled themselves as vessels, as individuals. Whatever your trials and tribulations in life and love have been like, it's brought you forth into this present version of yourself where it's like we can actually give something of value to one another because we've learned to give something valuable to ourselves. Yeah, and we have brave the journey. So this is the result of, your willingness to keep showing up for yourself, your willingness to keep showing up with an open heart, not just to the idea of love and romance, but it feels like to your life in general. For a lot of you, you've been single for a while, you've been through the ringer as far as connections are concerned, or you've been through a series of people that you're like, maybe this is my person, maybe this is my twin flame, maybe this is my soulmate, and it was kind of like, nope, wrong, next, and just kind of a revolving door of people that proved to not be what it was you were seeking, to not be good for you, or you weren't good for them, or was something that in theory it seemed really nice, but the actuality of it in practice, it just didn't work, or it wasn't sustainable for a long time. This is almost like somebody who is kind of right on the brink of giving up hope, or maybe you have reached that place where you're just apathetic, you're like, forget it. I just watch these romance tarot readings for entertainment, for something to do. I really don't think I have a person out there. I think it's probably just me. maybe you're at that place. You've kind of become the yin to your own yang. You've realized that, well, ultimately you are the love of your own life, first and foremost, and that's the frequency that has activated this kind of opening, this portal, this opportunity that the universe and the divine now has to bring you and this person together. This is somebody also who is, kind of fed up with the games. They've had their ups and downs. You both probably have a lot of war stories to share with one another. That may be something where part of the healing is you're able to kind of just look at these situations and sort of not feel such a triggered energy. Certain things you're able to look at it and laugh, like, I don't know what I was thinking, chasing after that person for as long as I did. I don't know what I was thinking, kind of waiting around or assuming that it was this individual that was meant to align with me. This is the energy of kind of like, if you've had to cry those tears of sorrow or mend certain wounds or heal from a person, then they're not your soulmate. And this is something that proves all of that. This is somebody that, this is a human relationship. So there's going to be times where you get on one another's nerves. There's going to be times where, you have fights, you have arguments, you have disagreements, feelings are hurt. There's a need to say sorry and make amends. But this is something that is like night and day compared to what you've experienced with toxic connections, with somebody giving you the runaround, ghosting, breadcrumbing, back and forth, hot and cold. It's like you've closed out that cycle. You're pushing that away. The experiences with this individual are going to help you to see, like, yeah, there is something better. And I always knew that because I was always reaching for that light. And it's going to make those wounds of the past for you and for them, like in your own lives up to this point in time, up to this place of intersection, which for a lot of you, again, this person already has their eyes on you. This is somebody who's got a crush on you. This is a secret admirer, or it's someone that's about to catch sight of you, cross your path. And it's like, whoa, who is this person? Something about you compels them. Something about you stops them in their tracks. Something about you catches their attention so profoundly that it's like, they have to come in. They have to know more. They have to meet you. They have to kind of, build something here between the two of you. So this is somebody that's like the opposite of a low effort person. You're about to encounter a high effort individual, which again, is going to help to heal a lot of even just kind of residual or even sort of subconscious feelings of hurt and wounding that you've held onto from previous situations, that you've done the best that you could to kind of clear those out. And now here's the experience of somebody that, like, let me help you with that. Let me help you with this healing by loving you correctly. Yeah, we have transform your thoughts. So for a lot of you, again, this is something where you're fed up with the twin flame journey, the soulmate journey. Some of you might even be like, I don't even believe in love anymore. And this person coming in, it's like if you thought you were on a twin flame journey with one individual, you're about to meet someone. It's like, oh, that's my twin flame. But it's not with all of this, like, okay, we're going to have to just kind of break each other apart in order to, rebuild into something better. And then that's like a higher level love. No, this is something where you're both activating one another. You continue to kind of like, rise through the triggers, rise through the challenges. It doesn't mean that this is going to be like just an easy path forward with this individual, or, that it's kind of like, okay, we meet and everything is just smooth sailing. There's a sense, it's a relationship. You're going to have to build that. You're going to have to learn to compromise. You're going to have to, fight for the connection. At times this is going to be something where this is, you don't just kind of get handed a connection like this for free. You're going to have to put in the effort. But unlike previous circumstances, you're not going to be the only one doing that effort. You're not going to be the only one holding on to that energy of belief. You're not going to be the only one who is maybe terrified of the experience, of the feelings, of the energy between the two of you, and yet you fight through those fears. You show up, you make the effort, you try. And so it's a very transformative experience from what you've known before. This is somebody with a very evolved love language, or they're able to kind of like pick up on what your love language is, and they put in a lot of effort in order to, you know, prove to you, I'm not just someone that's going to do the bare minimum. You know, I'm not just going to say I need to have it my way, or this is how I'm used to doing things. This is the type of person that's kind of like, what do you need? What do you want? What do you expect? And they're also not going to be shy about telling you what they need and want and expect in return. So there's a lot of compromise within this situation, a lot of personal growth and acceleration in a very positive way. Yeah, we have seek the angel perspective. So again, this is that energy of like higher level love, divinely guided. You may be seeing a lot of angel numbers. 444 is coming through, 1111, you know, the popular favorite, as well as 111. So those can all be signs and synchronicities for you, something that is relevant for this person as well. It feels like this is somebody who is either spiritually evolved, or they're going to be very open-minded about spirituality. They're going to want to build not just a sexual connection, not just an emotional connection, not just a physical connection, not just an intellectual connection, but they're going to believe that a spiritual component is necessary for success in romance. So they're going to bring something to the table in that regard. You're going to bring something to the table in that regard. And it feels like that is kind of a key indicator of like, yeah, this is the right person, because they're thinking in concepts like that, or they're open to that, or they're mentioning things like that, or they're receptive to things like that when I'm introducing it, you know, to the interactions, to the relationship. And that's how you know that's that higher level love. Yeah, and we have seek the truest self. So again, this idea of like the masks coming off, you know, all of that kind of aversion to labels, all of the sense of like, I'm done with this journey, or I'm done with that journey, you know, where you had to kind of strip that away from yourself and just return home to yourself. This is the version then that is like, okay, now you want to see what all those concepts really were about. Now you want to see what all of that hard work really was about. Here we go. Here is that kind of secret revealed. Your true counterpart is, and the door's open, and it's not who you expected it to be, but it's the right person. It's not in the form and fashion that you thought it would come in, but it's right. You're the right person, and it's the right time. They are the right person, and it's the right time. And together, you make magic. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Please give the video a like or comment to show your support. Subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more content from me. Don't forget to hit that bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below in the description box. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well.